pounds, Brad Armstrong. And his opponent accompanied to the ring by Kevin Sullivan, the Purple Haze.
Well, here's a match that would sell out any arena anywhere. Brad Armstrong moving against the Purple Haze, and they lock up collar and elbow, and it's the Haze very quickly with chops. But, brother, look at this. Brad Armstrong explode back on him. Beautiful takedown from an arm drag. And, by the way, buddy, I checked with Adrian Street because I was somewhat befuddled, as were you, in that particular move that he pinned his opponent with. And that is what he calls his London Bridge.
Well, if that's a London Bridge, it was absolutely a very effective wrestling hold. You know, Gordon, it seems to me how anyone can be so thrilled, so ecstatic with pleasure as Adrian Street is with a lock of hair. I guess you say different strokes for different folks, but that's what makes Adrian Street happy, is a lock of Dusty's hair.
The Haze in trouble here as Brad Armstrong has exploded on him, and the Haze had a look at of confusion and possibly a look of fear crossed his face as he has found himself in a match with a buzzsaw. I'll tell you, this Brad Armstrong hurtled through those ropes, and the Haze retaliating very, very quickly. You know, we're talking about this London Bridge with exotic Adrian Street. Dusty, of course, just got back. He was talking about being in Madison Square Garden. He was also a special guest of the city of New York at their commemoration of the Brooklyn Bridge. And so Dusty may have sort of a Brooklyn Bridge idea in mind for somebody like the London Bridge or Adrian Street.
Well, it seems like if Adrian Street does have this hold that he uses for a pinning hold, Dusty Rhodes will certainly have some kind of a counter move for it. And Dusty could call his the Brooklyn Bridge or whatever. But it would be surprising to me if Adrian Street could get the London Bridge on a man like Dusty. Now here's Brad Armstrong, hurdled out on the floor, who is another second-generation wrestler at the hands of the Purple Haze. And it seems like Kevin Sullivan is right there behind him, trying to force himself to hold back.
The Haze now moving out on Brad Armstrong, and the Haze punishing Armstrong outside the ring. Stops it, and Brad Armstrong explodes the right hand to the midsection of the Haze. Catches the Haze again in the midsection. And brother, the Haze in trouble, and the Haze now getting on that bicycle momentarily, suddenly turns on Brad Armstrong. Catches him. Both men crash to the canvas.
Well, this certainly has both men stunned. It seems like for the Purple Haze right now, just slapping himself in the head to try and regain his senses. Right now, there's the Purple Haze just hurdling Brad Armstrong. It seems like Brad Armstrong has been out on the floor for half of this match, Gordon, and just fighting to get back into the ring now.
Brad Armstrong coming up rather slowly, and he has had a series of percussions to the head that have jolted him. There's no question about that. Armstrong misses with the right hand, and it's the Haze getting the sleeper hold. The Haze has the sleeper hold on Brad Armstrong. Armstrong is outside the ring, but the Haze is not relinquishing. The referee is calling for the bell. The referee is calling for the bell, and the Haze dragging Brad Armstrong back into the ring. He's got that sleeper hold, and Brad Armstrong has to be going into darkness here. And Kevin Sullivan not forcing him to break that hold, and this is now he finally does. This is an exceptionally dangerous situation, and they catch Brad Armstrong. He is partially conscious once again, and now they continue to punish Brad Armstrong. He is completely at the mercy of the Purple Haze. And wait a second, here comes Dusty Rhodes and Mike Graham, and our time is gone.